If Katie Hobbs thought she could just waltz into the governor's mansion after all those shenanigans, she is in for a rude awakening. We're going to see the latest legal challenge against Hobbs. We're going to see the shocking statement made by Arizona's Attorney General at the certification ceremony. And stick with me to the very end of this video when I'll reveal the groundswell of support for a recall petition that promises to plague Hobbs and her very possibly brief tenure as Arizona governor. You're not going to want to miss this. Arizona Secretary of State Katie Hobbs certified her own election win over Kari Lake on Monday. This after threatening to arrest Mojave County Board of Supervisors as they didn't certify the election by Monday's deadline. This according to documents obtained by the Daily Caller. The Mojave County Board of Supervisors were, of course, extremely concerned about the insane number of irregularities and interruptions that occurred throughout Maricopa County on Election Day, as well as the obviously intentional slow walking of results and the stonewalling of handing over information on precisely just how bad the Election Day disruptions and irregularities were. So Katie Hobbs, who remember refused to recuse herself from overseeing the election and therefore by necessary entailment was in charge of counting her opponent's votes, took such insanity to the next level by certifying her own election win. So she was in charge of counting her opponent's votes and then certifying her own victory. This, of course, after one of the worst disruptions throughout Arizona's largest county on Election Day. Nothing to see here at all, gang. According to the lamestream media, just move along. Just business as usual in the politically pristine state of Arizona. Well, unfortunately for Hobbs, the Republican Attorney General wasn't very keen on these theatrics. Check out what Mark Brnovich said at the certification ceremony.
And I should note, I didn't know we were giving speeches today, but the governor and I, pursuant statute, serve as merely witnesses to the certification. We do not actually certify the election. And I'm reminded of what John F. Kennedy often said, that those who ride the tiger to seek power often end up inside.
Wow, that was awesome. Again, note he reiterated, neither he nor the governor certifies the election. It's the Secretary of State that certifies it. And of course, the Secretary of State is one Katie Hobbs. And Brnovich just paraphrased a line from John F. Kennedy's inaugural address when he said that those who foolishly seek power by riding the back of the tiger often end up inside the tiger, meaning that the quest for absolute power leads inexorably to corruption. Now, of course, we were all treated to seeing this corruption for ourselves firsthand with the Twitter files. Here's Tucker Carlson on the bombshell revelations that Katie Hobbs' office pressured Twitter through an agency known as CISA to delete the free expression of citizens concerned about elections on Twitter. This is brilliant.
At the beginning of the election cycle in 2021, staffers for the Secretary of State of Arizona, ordered by gubernatorial candidate and then Secretary of State Katie Hobbs, also directed censorship through CISA. Quote, "I am flagging this Twitter account for your review," wrote someone on Hobbs' account to the Center for Internet Security. CISA was later CC'd on the email. Why? Well, according to Hobbs' office, the tweets were, quote, "an attempt to further undermine confidence in the election institution in Arizona." Okay, so you're not allowed not to have confidence in elections? Really? This is the state where the biggest county took more than a week to count the ballots, and the printers didn't work on Election Day, though they worked the day before. But you're supposed to have total confidence. In fact, you're commanded to. And if you don't have confidence, you'll be punished. The email concluded, quote, "Thank you for your consideration in reviewing this matter for action." And of course, Twitter soon censored them. "Thank you. We will escalate," Twitter replied. For the fifth time, this isn't just offensive. This is illegal. This is a crime. A crime is being, a very serious crime, a crime against our democracy, not trespassing in the Capitol or gazing upon Nancy Pelosi's desk. Influencing the outcome of elections. It's beyond belief. It's also very common, much more common than anyone thought.
So here we are. I mean, the very permanent political establishment that accuses patriots of being insurrectionists and anti-democratic authoritarians are demonstrating themselves to be nothing more than projectors, imputing their own anti-democratic actions and impulses onto others. And so in the midst of all of this, what do? Well, the wonderful news is we're seeing patriots rising up and fighting back. Kari Lake is officially filing a formal legal challenge to the outcome of her gubernatorial race with Hobbs, promising that if necessary, she is going to take this all the way to the Supreme Court.
And I was running against the woman overseeing the election. Then when these counties outside of Maricopa County looked at what Maricopa County did and said, wait a minute, when you run an election that's a sham, it affects and disenfranchises our voters. Can you please prove to us what's going on here? Explain why the machines didn't work and the tabulators were all broken. Surprise, surprise, on election day, they all seemed to break down. And when they said, we're not going to certify this, Katie Hobbs' office threatened them being locked up. It's like lock up or, certify this election or you'll be locked up. Talk about, working under duress with a gun to your head. That's exactly what happened. This whole system is a mess here in Arizona. It's not just an embarrassment. They're trampling on our sacred vote, and that's why I'm fighting it. We had a movement here. Katie Hobbs, conversely, didn't even campaign. We called her Basement Hobbs because she pulled the page out of Basement Biden's playbook. She never campaigned. Maybe she knew that because she was in charge of the elections, it was going to go her way. But the people don't trust the elections. They don't believe the outcome. She sat there and certified this sham of an election, and we will be fighting it in a court of law.
Now, the court battles will be interesting. We've talked about how President Trump transformed the judiciary during his tenure into a far more conservative federalist judiciary, having appointed an inordinate amount of federal judges. So we'll see if Kari gets some justice here. But in the meantime, patriots are rising up and they're organizing something that may end Katie Hobbs' illicit tenure long before any court decision. You're going to absolutely love this. But first, gang, I have to admit, I got to admit to you, I don't always make the best food choices, right? If I'm honest with myself, there is zero chance that I'm eating what's the recommended 6 cups of fruit and 6 cups of veggies each and every single day I'm supposed to have. If only it were in a powder form that I could put in my favorite drink with. Well, what do you know? It is, and that's why I absolutely love Field of Greens. Field of Greens is powered with a full spectrum of essential vegetables and fruits, plus science-backed herbs and prebiotics. You're going to love this. Field of Green works fast, and if you're like me, you're going to have more energy. You're going to feel healthier. Your skin will look healthier, and it can even help you lose weight. Click on that link below and get your Field of Greens delivered right to your front door today. And to help you get started, I got you 15% off your first order and another 10% off when you subscribe. But it is a limited time offer, so don't wait. Click on that link below or visit fieldofgreens.com and use promo code TurleyTalks. That's fieldofgreens.com, promo code TurleyTalks. Gang, you're going to absolutely love it. Patriots are rising up and already beginning the process of organizing a mass recall effort to get rid of Hobbs. As I understand it, according to Arizona law, recall efforts can begin only after the governor has been serving for 6 months. Those efforts are already beginning. All throughout the Twitterverse are tweets calling for Hobbs to be recalled as soon as legally possible, and it looks like her governorship will be incurably plagued by such efforts. And again, the key here, very much along the lines of what Attorney General Brnovich was warning, the key here is that if the very process by which Hobbs assumed office was suspect, she has inescapably tarnished the totality of her administration. In literally every single respect, Katie Hobbs has completely undermined any shred of legitimacy for her tenure. And so the very fact that recall efforts have already begun, and again, they're all over Twitter at this point. The very fact that serious recall efforts are already underway, it's a foreshadow of what she can expect for the foreseeable future. And with Republicans maintaining control of the Arizona legislature, funny how that happened, but with Republicans in charge, Katie Hobbs is not necessarily going to have a very friendly government to work with in the midst of all of these recall efforts. So we'll obviously be keeping a very close eye on how things develop here, but there appears little question. Hobbs thought she could just ride the tiger into power, but it does appear that either through the law courts or through recalls, that tiger represents her own demise. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You will definitely want to check out my latest video on AOC officially coming under ethics investigation, all as her ridiculous Met Gala stunt backfires. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.